Welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers. This is the latest one that I've completed that I wanted to do a quick demo rundown video. This will also serve as the instructions for the eventual owner because this one is going up for sale. It may not be until after the release of the Phantom Menace in 3D on February 10th, but we'll see about that. So anyways, as you can see, this is a new Krayt Bone saber. The Krayt Bone element is a little bit longer in this one, something that I've been working on. This is the latest evolution of my Krayt Bone technique, to have what I call a link, or a centerpiece in the handle. That's this Krayt Bone design. As you can see, it's been patterned and textured to simulate bone. It's got a removable piece there, which we'll get to in a moment. I just wanted to highlight a couple of things in the saber. I like to keep it really clean. I wanted this to be an elegant, simple Jedi saber. I really enjoy using the media blasting powder coat system. So I've media blasted this and machined off some ridges there. I used O-rings here and then inset in here, and also a black cover tech to kind of go with the an Old Republic Prequel era kind of Jedi's saber, but I wanted it just to stand out with, obviously, with the bone. And these are grooves that I've machined in here and powder coated copper. But if you'll notice, they're actually a round, kind of a round edged machining job in there, not a straight edge. So I wanted it to kind of go with some of the rounder, softer edges of the saber, and it highlights the copper powder coating rather nice. This has got slightly larger buttons, a new material that I'm using. This is it's aluminum, but it's a new stock that I'm using, and the power button's got a ring machined in there, so it's a little bit set apart from the auxiliary button. Steel blade retention screw, Genesis Custom Sabers pommel insert, and a window for the bar graph. So this is the kill key. You remove this, boots up the saber. Of course, you can see the 2.1mm recharge port. As always, pin is positive for recharging. You can see there's a bar graph, 6 LEDs in there that you can see visibly through the window. And I know what you're thinking, 6 LEDs. Usually the bar graphs for a Crystal Focus 5 are 7. Of course, this is a Crystal Focus 5 saber, but it's a Crystal Focus 5.1, which means that you have a different option with LED number 1. Now, of course, some of you have seen my Krayt Bone Link style sabers before. Again, whoever gets a saber, this is a 440 screw, very small. I will probably include a second one of these because it's really easy to lose. But once you remove that screw, the bone segment comes out, and you can see the edges will be textured to look very much like bone. So even when the piece is removed, it still simulates the bone. And this, of course, you can rotate around to reveal a crystal chamber. And when it's in standby mode like this, before it goes into deep sleep mode, you can see just barely that the green crystal is backlit, and you'll notice that it's pulsing very slowly and softly. It's pulsing because this Crystal Focus version 5.1 has been programmed that LED number 1, which goes to the crystal, acts a little bit differently than the rest of the LEDs. So that's customizable by the user. Whoever gets this saber will probably get a variety of different settings in the different banks, so they can kind of peruse through and see which one they like best. But it's gone into deep sleep mode, which means one of the LEDs blinks, the crystal is silent. You can wake it up again with the auxiliary button, and of course that wakes up the crystal. When the saber is engaged, put a blade in, parse the activation button. Some Shatterpoint font. Failed to mention, this is a green LedEngin run at nearly 2 amps with a white flash-on clash provided by red and blue dice of the LED that are in series. You get a really brilliant white strobe flash effect when you clash it or blaster block. You can see that the crystal pulses in there while the blade is active. Also, you can see that these buttons are backlit. I want to show you one other thing. So I'm going to switch sound fonts. I'm going to go into the mode. Shatterpoint. In Shatterpoint. I'm going to go to my Revenge sound font. And I want to show you, this is a different setting for LED number 1, which is the crystal. Of course, it's activated, and you'll notice that the crystal actually responds to the sound generated by the crystal focus. So when the sound is triggered and there's more volume, the crystal comes alive a little bit more. It's probably the most dramatic, cool feature that I think is included on Crystal Focus 5.1. As you can see too, when you hold down the lockout button, you get a power level indicator meter showing that the battery is nearly full. It gives you however many bars are left. So that's the operation of this saber. I'll quickly run down how a user would be able to change the SD card. With this saber, as with all Crystal Focus sabers, it's customizable. Now with the kill key out, because you don't want to remove any parts of the saber with the kill key in, you would grip the saber here, and this joint right below the middle piece, the whole bottom part unscrews, and you will see PVC chassis holding the Crystal Focus with the power extender board on there, and of course you can see the bar graph is on board with the Crystal Focus. They're tiny SMD LEDs, 6 of them that are soldered in there, and your SD card is here. Now, to gain access to the SD card, you always put the kill key in, which kills power to the saber, and then you use the magic implement, which is a pencil. And right now, I'm just noticing I don't have a pencil. How embarrassing! So I'm gonna be creative and use the rubber base of a tool, and I'm gonna press on, and you can see that the SD card pops out there, and I can use those pliers to extract that, put that on my computer, make changes, whatever, and then when I'm ready I can pop it back in. I hear it click, so I know it's seated. Pull the kill key. I get the boot up sound, which means that it's ready to go, and now I can put the saber back together. If for whatever reason this PVC comes out of alignment, it is possible to very carefully rotate it a little bit in order to get this recharge port to line up, but the user shouldn't have to. This is quite tight. It's designed and set up to be really durable once the saber is assembled, and with firmly squeezing that together, you'll notice it lines up perfectly. Okay, so that's how the saber operates. I will probably do some other video to show kind of the crystal chassis a little bit more close up, and some glamour photos coming up on my website soon. This will be going up for sale very soon. Thanks for looking.